live.
Forearm flex.
After a couple weeks off. Too busy lounging around the pool, I guess, Mark. Sipping Mai Tais. While some of us are around here working.
In the crazy, the rainstorm.
Oh, yeah. And
it wasn't even that bad.
It was bad enough to pollute Poway. So
that's true.
We can't drink any water for anybody listening. In our entire city of Poway, we are just
shut down.
Flesh-eating bacteria. And we can't have Starbucks or any kind of restaurant this week.
Good thing we don't record in Poway.
Yeah, good thing
we would have shut down our podcast.
Dude, if this Starbucks by my office closed down, then my business would close down. How are we going to function and operate without their caffeine? I have to make my own coffee? Are you kidding me?
I was like, it doesn't. Even if our gym was in Poway, it wouldn't really matter. It's a gym.
People can't pipe.
I remember when the big power outage happened. We just brought in our cars and used the headlights.
Really?
We're like, why not?
That's
it's
awesome.
a gym, you know. So
yeah, night classes are canceled. Well, welcome back. You're nice and refreshed. We have 1 week to go until our first FixFit concept seminar, official seminar this time.
Stoked, man. First one.
Plenty of mini
doing
seminars.
Things.
I know.
We were just talking before this, it was like a year ago. Mm-hmm. I mean, we started the journey about 3 years ago, but
yeah,
a year ago we took on 5 individual people, and then, man, that was already a year ago. And realized that was too much work.
And you're right, it did spark the podcast after. Because we were like,
how can we reach more people but not invest like every waking minute like trying to check in on each person, you know?
Right.
So,
because now we realize too through FixFit over the 3 years that people share with each other what they learn and they can teach themselves. Yeah. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be communicated through us. It's nice to we could just moderate. You know, if someone has a pain, I can assess it individually, and I don't have to assess everybody individually, right? So, like, we were there to just kind of be your guides, which is pretty cool.
It's like social learning. I think that's what they call it these days. And we kind of learn from each other's experiences, and that's how we get better quicker, you know?
Yeah.
It's like we got a bigger group of people doing this, testing it out, and you kind of learn from each other.
Kind of like I said on my video last week, though, I was like, I really want people that have already done it still to do it. I know it says concepts, and it's like, if you already understand the concepts, you could come be a leader and show those people that are like, what the hell is a piston? Like, I'm having trouble with that. You can show them that.
That's a great point, because I mean, isn't that how it starts? Like CrossFit, everyone tries it somewhere in their garage or the park, and then after a while, you get enough people to share it with, and you're like, man, I want to learn more, so you get certified, you know?
Right.
It's very rare that you don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
It's not the intent.
You're not taking an intro class again.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's going to be similar movements that you're like, I already know these. But it's like, but now you're going to apply them to wherever you're at in your goals now.
Yeah.
If it's 2 years ago you started learning a piston, but now you're going to do a piston again, for a squat PR. Look at it just solely for your squat PR, not just pain like it used to be.
Yeah, because like the first part is we want you to be able to like use it to fix yourself and whatnot. But like you're right, we are social animals. We do things in a group, whether it's jiu-jitsu, CrossFit, weightlifting, and stuff. Like you want to be able to share knowledge,
right?
And that's another layer of why you should take this seminar, is because now you'll learn how it works. Because if I've assessed you before, you were being assessed. Mm-hmm. But now you're going to experience it, going over like what I'm looking for, what you're looking for, and how we would guide someone through their injuries.
Right.
Or how we kind of help them with their performance, you know?
Most people that I've recommended to do it are at a stage where they're like at some self-maintenance level for themselves already and just using mobility tools and, conservative care to get by. But I'm like, you need this for the next step.
True.
If you want, yes, you are back to weightlifting, you're not in pain, good, but they're still hesitant. Most people I recommend it to are hesitant to take that next step, scared to put more weight on the bar, scared to go out for that run, beyond a mile without their hip pinching or their Achilles flaring up. So it's like, those are the people we want you to apply this. If you are broken, the nice thing is that if you get broken along the way, or if you're walking into this broken, you have us to assess it first and let them know like it's not that bad.
That's what Rodman Koenig said, right? Like it's going from dysfunction to function. Mm-hmm. But people are gun shy. If you tweak your back on a deadlift or something happened really bad, like an injury, you're going to be gun shy going back to what you want to do.
Right.
So instead of just going from dysfunction to function, we want you to have that, have these tools so you can apply it so you can be optimal now.
Right.
So now it's like, okay, not only are you just scared of going back to running because your sciatica or your plantar or whatever, you've been doing the pistons is working. We want you to have the tools where you're not afraid to go back to running again, because if something does flare up when you're training for a 5K, a half marathon, you know how to take care of yourself.
Right.
That's optimal, That means you're not scared to run, because just because you take this is not like you're not going to have injuries.
Yeah.
It's what do you do when things happen,
Right.
Like the process is what we're trying to teach you.
Right.
We're teaching the process.
So this Sunday, December 8th, we are going to do the process, the initial how to self-assess yourself, the basic movements, squat, hinge, press,
row, deadlift, which was hinge.
Deadlift, and most of
patterns.
A lot of those patterns exactly will be grouped together, and it will be a hands-on seminar. Mark and I will be, and some coaches will be walking around, making sure you feel the movements correctly. Test yourself on a barbell, body weight, doesn't matter. All levels are welcome to come check it out.
And we had a lot of discussions because this is new for us, right? We've been doing the podcast. We've been independently applying FixFit. You as a chiro, me as a trainer, CrossFit trainer. And then we had a lot of talks like, what should we include in the workshop? I mean, it's only 4 hours. Usually take us whatever CrossFit level 1 is like 2 days. So there's like a lot to cram in. So 4 hours is even less in my opinion. But you and I talked, and it's like, where do we start? What do we teach first? And we're going to try to have that like keep it simple mentality.
Yep.
And what has always been the bread and butter, if you guys ever worked with me or if you sent me a video, the first thing I asked for, and you brought it up, is got to do the squat assessment.
Yeah.
It's that basic. We can see and find out so many imbalances and issues from that squat assessment. So you're going to we're going to walk you through that like at the beginning.
Yep.
And then that's going to set a good foundation, understanding the principles of muscles move the joints, and what's not firing causes the pain, the core issues, and then that'll lead us into the other movements.
And from my end, I really want to incorporate recovery and stability of shoulders and hips, and how it relates to your neck, how your shoulders relate to your neck, how your hips relate to your lower back. But we're not throwing that at you right away, right? Like, we're not just going to be like, look at all of this, you got to change all of it. Like, it'd be too overwhelming.
Yeah, we're trying to make it an interactive and something that's a lot of those take-homes, right? Not so much like, oh my gosh, I just went through a fucking kinese class and my head hurts.
But what I am going to try to do is, because I'll take it from my own personal side, like I am going to use these 8 weeks to get back onto a consistent program of FixFit. Whether it's every other day, every day of some kind of movement, whether it's body weight or with a barbell on my own, something where I'm almost back to those FixFit Jack days where we're just, constantly pumping a muscle around the shoulder joint, constantly pumping a muscle around the hip joint. I would just feel better overall in terms of like work. Lifting weights would, or like a CrossFit class would feel a little bit easier in terms of recovery. But, currently my right hip is still really tight. And it's not in pain to where I can't do anything, but it's like I'm going to use this FixFit to gain mobility back in that hip. So I might have to add in my own stretching, my own lacrosse balling, my own single leg drills for my hip stability. And that's where we're going to...
That's the process, though, which is perfect.
Right, and I don't want to introduce that process on top of the FixFit stuff, because it's like, it's a lot.
Yeah. Right?
But if we have 2 to 3 people that are like, oh man, I got the same hip pinch at the bottom of that squat, I'll message you, and part of this forum, or part of the seminar and signing up for 8 weeks will be that there will be a forum where we can voice it with each other, like, hey, in the first 3 weeks, how's our hip doing, and
it's kind of cool because we have that combo, and this is how we've worked together, Cook Chiro and CrossFit Sun, for last 3 years of this FixFit journey, right? So we're integrating that. So I'm glad that you're part of the process, because you already posted it in the group page for those that signed up already. It's that intake form.
Yeah.
Like when you go to a doctor's office and you want to get the data, because it's not just about hitting PRs. Mm-hmm. If you constantly have sciatica or you constantly have hip pain doing stuff, you have that. And what we're going to integrate on your end is that, when someone comes to you, and even though they've seen me and they're doing the pistons and oblique openers or whatever, the anchor press, something's still off, that's when they go to you, and then you help them with recovery with certain drills, and maybe this is tight, try to release that. So we're going to have that integrated where everyone is going to fill out this intake form and have their goals, whether it's performance, nagging injuries, so we can track that.
Right.
Because we lose the success stories in our heads and the way it feels like right away. So at the end of it, you're not going to remember that you had like shoulder pain like every time you snatch. You'll just go, oh man, I didn't hit a PR, that's good, or that sucked, you know? But then now what we can do is we can have a routine, I think is what you're saying.
Yeah.
We get to follow routine, which is nice because that's what we need. We need people to do it with. And then halfway through, in 4 weeks, we can use that intake form and make sure that people are having success, you know? And then you can help them with the modifications that they need to add in. Like the 1-2 punch we would normally do anyway.
Exactly.
This is on a bigger scale.
Like I was getting at, if it's 3 weeks in and 2 other people are still having right hip tightness, I'm going to go, okay, we're really going to zone in on pistons, and I'm going to add in single leg RDLs, rolling out your glute med and piriformis, kickbacks at work when you're sitting too long. I will give you personal stuff like that along the way rather than just, I got to give this program 6 more weeks before I decide if it works or not. It's like, no, we could kickstart this
immediately.
And again, I can give you those harder stability movements because I'm assuming that you're at a functional level if you're signing up for the seminar too.
Yeah. And you'll be part of the process. So if we're all doing the same routine, with modifications to fit our goals, but what if the piston's not working for 3 or 4 people? It's not just it's not the program. The process is, these drills are meant to show the problem.
Right. And
they're also there if you focus on to fix it. But if it doesn't fix it, there's more than one tool for the same issue, So that's where you're going to come in and apply that, whether it's 3 weeks in, halfway through, but that's where that, the benefit of having.
And I would love, because I'm testing it on myself, I would love 2 to 3 other people with me doing the same thing, asking me the question. So if I have to walk you through it, I'm walking myself through it too. Trying to get better mobility in my hip, trying to get stronger in that right glute, trying to shut off my right hip flexor. If that's my goal out of the whole journey of 8 weeks, and then I squat, I don't even care what weight, at the end of it and go, oh, my hip didn't hurt.
Yeah, you look back on the intake form and you're like, my hip is a constant, tightness or pain.
Right.
And that's gone.
It pinches
now.
At the bottom. You know, if you take notes at the seminar, it's pinching at 90 degrees. Okay, write that down. Then halfway through, we'll send out the intake again and be like, fill this out again. How are you guys doing halfway through? I'm at 90 degrees, it doesn't pinch anymore, but I have no weight on the barbell.
That's one of the big things that we keep talking about. A program's just a program, this eBooks online program. At the end of a 12-week, 8-week, whatever cycle, 6-week cycle you're on, the only thing you have is whether you PR'd or not.
Right.
We're going the complete opposite and flipping the script. It's through the process, we want to figure out what your issues were, and we want to hone in on them and make sure that the issues are being fixed and you understand why it's happening. So, most of you guys might not even care about a PR.
But I don't. Not on this 8 weeks, I'm not going to.
I really did when I used FixFit for the 500-pound
exactly.
deadlift. But to survive that extreme training, there was a lot of learning that was involved through the process, So it's again, we're teaching the process. We want you to use this so that you can apply it to another training program one day. We can apply it so that you know how to fix something in the future.
So if we have a bunch of runners go I want to run this half, you're gonna run the half with them? Is that what you're saying? Because I'm not gonna do the running part.
I've ran enough in my days. I ran 5 miles last week.
Oh yeah, in one
Thanksgiving workout.
I don't want to talk about that.
That was really bad, and I survived.
Yeah.
So the bells and whistles, we're really stoked because we're putting a lot in it. We have the program that you're gonna follow, and we're going to go over that during the Sunday workshop, and then also have a part where you can customize, modify, whatever you like to call it, so that if you don't, because people might be afraid that it's a powerlifting program, and you're like, I don't want a back squat, deadlift, bench, or strict press. But you're learning the FixFit exercises with it, so you can just modify it to those, So we get the program where it's fully customizable to your goals. So you have that. You have you and I through the process, the workshop this Sunday, and what else we got in there?
The forum I'm most excited about.
I think that's going to be a big deal.
I think that is the best part of it, and then staying on top of the forum. So, again, like you said, every 2 weeks, we'll shoot a heartbeat to people to go back to the intake form. Look at where you're at. Did you go from a, 4 out of 10 Achilles pain to a 2 out of 10 in just 2 weeks of, pushing a sled.
Yeah.
And it helped your running right away. Like, note that, and now add more weight to the sled. Or go back and, you'll come up, I'm sure, with ways for people to add on to their workouts.
Yeah.
And how to modify their workout.
There's not going to, it's the cool thing, it's like it's a blank canvas, right?
Right.
And it's, my whole thing is always like, if you don't know what the root cause of an injury is or chronic pain, then you're just like, it's a gunshot approach. You're hoping for the best, But once we've figured out what's causing, let's say, your hip pain, then we're going to do everything we can, try every different variation until it works for you, So it's not like you have to do a piston. You're like, the piston doesn't work for me. But we know that it's that inside hammy that's not firing.
Right.
And that's where the learning and the sharing happens, because DJ or Leslie or coaches at CrossFit Sun has been doing this a while. They're like, oh, I do this for my hammy. So it's just like you get to those answers quicker. We know we're going to find the problem, but then now you have all these people testing and trying to solve it with you. So you don't have to spend a bunch of time on your own after taking any other workshop, a seminar, and try to figure out these problems as you go. It's just a much slower process,
Yeah, like you said, or we said earlier, like if you're 3 to 4 weeks in and you're like, man, I'm feeling about the same. Most programs you're like on your own to just go, I guess they just keep going until
I just follow the sets and reps.
Yeah, and
that's what I bought.
It should still help me. And you might still PR like doing that.
Yeah, adrenaline's crazy. You get excited or stoked, or you
false sense of hope that you did the reps and put in the time,
and you might have gotten stronger, but if you're using the wrong muscles, it just increases your injury rate and the whole deal.
So where we're trying to change the whole concept is that 3 to 4 weeks in, you know what question to ask.
That's a good point.
I can't hip hinge on this hip. I can't press past 45 degrees with my arm overhead without my neck pinching. It's like, or my shoulder tweaking. It's like, what do I need? Which of these drills do I need to keep doing? What area do I need to dig out? What modification should I do in pull-ups? It's like those questions are the ones that need to get asked rather than just being lost and looking to get handheld in the middle of a workout or panic.
You're reliant, right?
Yeah.
It comes back to that. And that's one thing that one of the perks, I guess, or what we're trying to promote is that you're going to learn how to modify any exercise to its mechanical function, right?
Right.
You don't if you ever see a pull-up workout anywhere, you're working out with friends or at a gym, you know how to modify to train the same muscles. That's kind of the goal too, is that you know how to adjust it to fit your injuries or how to fix your injuries while working out still.
Yeah.
So that modification you brought up is what we want to. That's the feedback we want to hear. Even a coach is coming in and they're already asking the questions like, oh, well, what about a snatch? Does that mean it's, and that's exactly it. We want them to start thinking with this mindset, and then that should open them up to whatever sport they want to apply to, So it's not just stick to the set of exercises, get really good at pistons, and don't know why it works.
And again, why I'm so excited about the forum, if you're like, I am a runner, I am doing jiu-jitsu, I am just picking up my kids off the ground, ask specific questions like that, because we have dealt with it enough, or we're passionate enough about sports injury to where we can help you.
Yep.
Right? We can help you modify even picking up your kid. It's like you can make it as personalized as you want, which is pretty cool, and you can voice it in the form, because you never know. Someone else could be like, oh yeah, I'm training for the same half as you.
Yeah.
And I have plantar fasciitis, I don't have Achilles or whatever, and you guys can work together on stuff, go for a run together.
And it's been 3 years, and a lot of the people that have been part of the journey has experienced some of the same issues. So they've been through that learning phase of dealing with, let's say, sciatica or plantar or neck pain, So you have that resource there with the coaches, with us, and it's just the more questions you ask, the quicker that, we're going to help you learn how to deal with those things.
Right. Yeah, because I think there will be even, I know some non-weightlifters, I guess, or non-CrossFitters going that might not understand what a program is.
Yeah.
Right? If they open up a spreadsheet and it says you're going to do this, 3 to 5 times a week,
mm-hmm.
and we're not making them check the box that they did it. We're just kind of like, here, you just try this at your own gym, at home, before bed, after, when you wake up. you're gonna have to open up your mind to like when you're gonna do the programming too.
Yeah, people message me and they're not sure what it is or how to do it. It's just homework, right? Mm-hmm. It's like our whole thing is learning the process. So you take the class, which is the workshop, and then it's like online homework. And the more you do homework, the faster you're going to learn it because you practice it more. Right. So it's just practicing the concepts we're going to continue to teach you and walk you through it. Yep. So there's really we have a set program to follow. If you're like, I want to hit PRs on these 3 lifts, that's fine as well. But it's just there for you to kind of, trial and error is how you learn. If you follow a program like a robot, it's out there, you're not learning a damn thing.
Right.
And that's exactly what we're trying to go away from.
Yeah. We encourage the trial and error and your feedback, because again, you're going to learn how to modify for yourself in your own world, and you don't even have to be in San Diego.
Yeah.
To learn how to modify it. Like,
shout out to Janice. Janice is our so far out of town sign up, all the way from the Bay Area. I'm really excited. One of the cool things about this, coming from a pick a basketball background and jiu-jitsu background and building CrossFit, from the garage, is the grassroots. This is our very first. I feel like it's our first event.
Sure. Yeah.
First workshop, and we're gonna have this like unique group of people. We'll hopefully have 10 to 15 people. That's what it's like it's gonna be, and it's gonna be exciting. It's that we're the first ones, and then it always evolves. The first like garage days was different. It's like the war stories, and then you get the community because after the deadlift, I don't work out alone. I don't like that, so that's why having people to do this with is going to be way more fun than that 500-pound deadlift.
Well, that's how it was born. We just showed up and started pushing sleds and pulling ropes, and we had no idea.
And that was just fun. But now we have a structured goal and a program. Like, I'm stoked.
To be able to boil it down to that takes a lot of work and a lot of trial and error.
It's so powerful to have to go through a journey with people. That's why people like to do like a run club, and they'll train for a race, or train together in a fight camp and then do a fight,
Right.
Like I was doing the 500-pound deadlift, but I was training with you on certain nights and training with Bob a lot of the nights and DJing them, like any and everyone. Like, hey, I got to do more squats. Come do it with me.
Yeah.
But now having a collective group of people doing it together, it's like it just reminiscent of the garage days of like starting CrossFit.
I was gonna say that's the other cool part of the forum. We might just be like, hey, pop up, Friday afternoon.
That's right.
Meet us up. We're going to be doing back squats. Meet us up on Sunday. We're going to do sleds. You'll be a part of that process where we can get together and throw it down a little bit, ask us questions in person.
Yeah, I think I am, when I'm all in whenever I do anything, so I'm definitely going to have a lot of open FixFit concept sessions just at the gym. Be like, hey, I'm coming Sunday at 8 or 3 p.m. Let's go.
Take a class with people.
Yeah, jump in at a certain time. So I'm excited for that. That community aspect is always what I'm trying to build or search for. So there's going to be a cool little subgroup. We've had run clubs, weightlifting clubs, barbell clubs.
Yep.
This is just another variation of those, but just a different medium, I guess.
I guess we should shout out at the end, there will be a lift-off event on a Sunday where we all get together and just,
it's like a party.
mock comp party.
Yeah, test your lifts, and if
oh dude, Truly versus White Claw competition at the end.
It's not a competition.
Okay, you know what?
You want to pick something
We're gonna
different.
do blind taste tests, and everyone's got to pick a tally, and we're gonna do it.
That's the
finisher.
We already had the poll up. That was
everyone PRs. We're gonna go. No, forget your poll. We're gonna do blind taste tests. And you're going to select Truly on accident.
That'd be pretty funny. Like 95%. Truly tastes
everybody
better
picks
in the blind.
Truly.
That's another thing, going back to the FixFit concept, is that this is data for us too, intake form and all that.
Yeah.
We want these, it's nice to have these little kind of case studies for us to build off of.
That's what I'm saying. I really am going to use, I love objective data. So if I see 4 people circle hip and low back, I'm going to message you and be like, or sciatica, and be like, we're all going to do this together. We're gonna add in these little hip primer programming, on our own, if you're up to it, But I want to see a solid group of people work towards that one little tiny goal of just better mobility is fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that I'm going to PR a back squat in what is it, February? Jesus, that's hard to say out loud? Our lift-off thing?
I don't remember the full timeline, but I had
8 weeks is 2 months, and
I had a substantial jump in 3 months. I mean, that was 375 to 500 on the deadlift, and all the other numbers went up too.
Yeah, I have February 1st or 2nd is our liftoff, so that's weird to say.
If you applied this program, because we kept talking assessments, concepts, and all that, but if you're just here for freaking raw, dirty performance, this is it too. If you're hitting this program hard, and training hard, when I went for the 500-pound deadlift, I want to see those numbers too. If you're signing up to hit big back squat,
please.
press,
in the goal section, just be like, I'm
deadlift,
going ham on.
I want to get strong as fuck, and I could care less about everything else. This is also that path for you.
I want this. It's good.
I miss that because I'm extremes, right? I went all in, and it was nice being able to my lifetime goal was 135. The deadlift was cool, right? But the strict press has always been weak for everyone at the gym on average.
Oh, yeah. Did you set
for me?
Did you set your goal for this 8 week yet? I know you've been too busy.
I just want to get strong again because I remember my old lifetime PR was 135 to 145 strict press or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Towards the end of it, I was strict pressing that for 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge, shit. And I just and I was strong for everything. Handstands was easy in the open, pull-ups are easy. Everything's just stronger. And I miss that feeling. So this time around, it's not a specific a 1 rep type of thing. I want to get back to being able to rep out heavier weights, I guess.
Not
I want to be able to rep out 405s on a deadlift versus trying to deadlift 500 once.
Right.
I want to be able to do that.
It's funny because
given WOD for 10 or something.
You're 500-pound dead. We're training so hard, FixFit jacked. I remember I was feeling so good, but this time around, since we're hosting somewhere, we're both our goals are a little bit less, but I want to.
And we've been doing jiu-jitsu, so it's we're not laser focused on one thing, I gave up everything for one deadlift, really. I didn't CrossFit a lot, so I'm still CrossFitting and jiu-jitsu and this program, so I have my hands full,
Yeah, me too.
So we're setting smart goals. I can't be I can't just throw it out there and be I want a 600-pound deadlift. It's it's just not. I don't have the mental space or commitment.
Maybe in 2020 we'll go over, closer towards the end. We'll be filled with FixFit muscles and testosterone, going no, dude, next year 550.
You know what is my
550-pound dead.
It's not a goal, but it would be interesting to see, right?
Yeah.
Because I want to see if I can pull 485, maybe even 500 at a lower body weight. Because I've dropped at least 15, 20 pounds since that time, Yeah.
Your flexes for the camera have been pretty embarrassing.
I know. I should stop.
You should stop. But also...
but I'm bringing it back.
On your 4th of July 500-pound dead, I went into that with... I think I said I wanted a strict press PR. That's it. And I PR'd my back squat and deadlift.
Same. I was only deadlift.
Accidental.
Yeah.
I mean, those are really nice PRs when you just kind of go into it going, I'm feeling really good. I'm going to go hard today and see what happens. And PR 3 lifts. And you're oh, shit.
Right.
So if that's you too,
and
that'd be awesome.
The residuals stayed for so long because I went on that road trip in end of September, early October.
Mm-hmm.
I hit 5 reps at 315 on a back squat. This is towards the end of the trip. We've already hit 9 gyms. We had a 1 rep max deadlift in the last day in the morning. Oh, actually afternoon. So we already did the heavy lifting at one gym. And I still pulled 485 or 75 or something.
See.
So I still had, and not doing any of the programming. So it's if I kept some of this, that's my goal, is to keep some of these drills and consistency. Then I wouldn't have lost it all.
Yep.
Not lost it all, because even the open, I linked the 315 deads pretty easily.
Yeah, because we'll definitely have a recap of the seminar. We'll have a recap of halfway through, recap at the end.
Yeah. So track the process, really.
Set new goals. That's what it's all about. Constantly testing, retesting, setting new standards. Anything else? Oh, well, link is on our Instagram.
Yep.
And
Mark Sun, FixFit.
Mark Sun, FixFit.
Sun, FixFitness guys.
Cook Cairo. There's a link tree with dates, time, price, and all that. So go sign up.
Yeah, it's such a steal, man. You guys are gonna get so much, and we gotta sell it a little. But usually if someone's hurt, they gotta come to me, and they'll do one-on-ones, maybe 1 or 2 or 3, and for all of this, the workshop, the 8 weeks of mentor program, everything we talked about, It's only $150.
Yeah.
That's less than 2 sessions with me. You know, it's like you're gonna get guided through this whole 4-hour session, learn what I'm doing, why we do it, and then the whole program, and then the lifting. Like, you got to do it.
Yeah.
Because then
it's the cost of like a half of that is like one assessment with me.
So like the StrongFit seminar, like what I've taken twice, you know, I think it's like close to $500 something bucks, and it's still worth its money and whatnot. It's just this is our first one, so the price point's a little lower. Get in while it's hot.
Yeah.
Get in while it's
Get
good.
that founder's fee.
Yeah, and it's even lesser if you're a CrossFit Sun member. So you guys better show up.
Yeah.
Support
CFSers.
Support the mans.
All right. Check it out. Sign up. See you Sunday, and also you can just, even if you can't make Sunday, just sign up for the program. Get
it's still worth the program.
Yeah. All right. We out. See you Sunday.